PFF is running one of their biggest sales ever. 40% off a PFF Plus subscription right now using the promo code BLACKFRIDAY. That means that you get everything fully unlocked. You get the grades, you get the stats, you get all the fantasy advice, the betting advice, which our new player prop tool is available on web as well to make you a smarter, better. You've got all of the draft analysis, the free agency analysis, all of that great stuff. Subscribe.pff.com to get 40% off a year-long PFF Plus subscription. Get it now. Texans traveled to Tennessee to take on the Titans. This one that probably had Survivor Leagues sweating. But ultimately, 16-13, Houston Texans are victorious with a last-second field goal. Their top 5 graded players in the game, edge rusher Will Anderson Jr., surprise, surprise, top of the list, an 89.8. He's having an unbelievable year. Wide receiver Nico Collins, an 83.1. Cornerback Derek Stingley Jr. with an 81.2. Wide receiver Jaden Higgins, a 76.8. And then defense tackle Tim Settle with an 84.1. Davis Mills in this one. I know people were mad that we didn't grade him higher for last week's performance. This week, he played better. And why? Because there wasn't as many turnover-worthy plays. People see it matters. 81.5 overall grade for Davis Mills. We'll dig into that in a second. On Tennessee side of things, defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons with an 89.5. Linebacker Cedric Gray, an 87.6. Linebacker Cody Barton at 81.3. Defensive tackle Tavondre Sweat at 75.1. And then tight end Chig Okonkwo with a 72.9. Cam Ward in this game, a 57.2 overall grade. What was your stat that told the story, Dalton?
Credit Davis Mills' resilience, right? There was a lot that went wrong for the Texans in this game. They didn't run the ball that well. The Titans' front seven was playing really well. There was an early drive, first drive of the game, actually. The Texans came away with no points despite driving right down to the goal line. But Davis Mills, what stood out to me, the big advantage the Texans had in this game was the receivers on the perimeter beating the Titans' secondary, especially in one-on-one coverage. When you look at throws for Davis Mills, at or outside the numbers in this game, attacking that outside part of the field. 88.6 passing grade, finding one-on-one matchups with Nico Collins, with Jaden Higgins, a couple of times with Dalton Schultz too. 16 of 23, 163 yards and a touchdown, 3 big-time throws outside the numbers out there. That's where he really did his damage against this Titans secondary. The front seven was playing well, but when Mills saw advantageous matchups on the outside, he took advantage every time. The signature play of this game to me was on the final drive, 3rd and 16, deep out route to Nico Collins that he toe taps for a first down. They drive further in for the game-winning field goal. I think that one play really encapsulated Mills' day, throwing the ball very, very well to the outside to a really good set of receivers.
Yeah, he's very confident starting once again in this game. 81.5 passing grade, as we mentioned. The 3 big-time throws, only 1 turnover-worthy play because I think he had 4 turnover-worthy plays the previous week, which is why his grade was a lot lower, just putting the ball in harm's way, and he didn't this week. So you love to see that. Back-to-back weeks where he's had 3 big-time throws, but now he cut down on the turnover-worthy plays, so it was a great job by him there. Stat that told the story. I jokingly / not jokingly have the fact that the Titans took the field is sort of my stat that told the story. 14.3 points per game. That's the lowest in the NFL. They've had no games where they have scored more than 22 points. And in fact, they've only had 1 game where they've scored more than 20. Just not going to get it done in this league. And the Titans are just very clearly, they're not talented enough. They're not ready. They're not experienced enough. There is not enough here for this team. And so they'll be searching for a new head coach this upcoming offseason. And we're going to have to get into a lot of what Cam Ward needs to really succeed from this team, because right now the offensive line isn't what it needs to be. They're not dynamic with their running backs. They don't have the talent at wide receiver, and they just lost Calvin Ridley again after he just came back from injury. On the defensive side of the ball, they don't have enough difference makers. I like Jeffrey Simmons. I actually like how the linebackers are playing. We saw them grading really well once again this week, but secondary difference makers, they don't have difference makers on the edge. They do not have. They're just not talented enough of a football team. And this was a game, to be honest with you, like if the Titans can't win this game, I don't know what games they win, because you're at home. The Texans did not play that well. Of course, like the Texans defense is good, but you had momentum in this game. You had the ability to win this game, and it really came down to the wire. And if they don't win a close one against the Texans when they really were there until the very end, I just don't know. I don't know where the Titans' next few wins come from. I'm looking at their schedule now. So it's versus the Seattle Seahawks. Don't feel confident about that one.
Nope. Jags,
maybe, depending on what Jags team shows up, but they're really going to need this one to be a win. So I feel good about the Jags in that one. At Cleveland, Cleveland's offense isn't great.
Well, that game's going to be 4-2.
But that defense is incredibly stout. And then it's San Francisco, it's Kansas City, New Orleans. maybe.
In the Dome or at home?
They get them at home.
Oh, okay.
And then it's the Jags again, but the Jags are probably, there's a good chance that week 18, Jags are playing for either making it into the playoffs or seeding position. So I like the Titans to win one more game this season, and that's just sort of where we are with the Tennessee Titans.
They are what they are. I mean, how about 2 big wins, though, with Davis Mills starting for the Texans here last week and now this week, and you go into a big stretch for them. You look at their next 3 games. They're sitting 5-5. They've won 5 out of 7. Buffalo, Indy, Kansas City. There's the stretch of your season if you're Houston. You got to get out. If they just found some way, somehow, especially with their defense and maybe C.J. Stroud coming back next week, to win 2 out of those 3 games, you start to feel a little bit better about the Houston Texans and at least their chances of making the postseason despite some early difficulties.
All right.